live now, though. Yeah, we're live. Oh, let me get my sign. Sorry, folks. Do my sign real quick. Welcome. I reorganized the cameras today. Welcome to the Wes Smith Variety Show episode. What number was it? Did I say?
666.
Ah, yeah. We're just gonna call it episode 666.
I think that's okay.
On this
do
day.
What you want.
Sorry, folks, if you have a problem with that number. I am here today with my guest, Maria Poppins. Say hello.
Hello.
What up?
What up?
Who's way more festive than I am, but I gave it an effort. I got some skulls, and I brought. You have to check. Yeah, I brought Pinhead. That's the throwback. The throwback T-shirt for anybody. Who did I say this was? I totally forgot. Pinhead's from Hellraiser. It's been a long time since that movie was out, but if you're gonna go rewatch some horror movies, Hellraiser's the jam.
I'm actually choking on that M&M. I think I should drink some of
I'm
that
trying
tequila.
I'm trying to kill her. Please, if you need a sip of tequila. I didn't plan on mixing
I didn't bring a cup.
That's
Well,
fine. There's cups. These are clean.
Are they?
Yeah. I cleaned them. Totally clean.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I didn't bring the Blanco because we're not mixing that with anything. Is that helping you? Is that working?
Yeah. Damn those M&Ms.
I'm almost positive that that's the first introduction that I've ever had
Where
where
somebody's choking.
someone choked and cured it with tequila. And cheers to that.
Oh, cheers. Happy
Mofo.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. How long did it take you to get that your face like it is right now?
Dude. Too long. First of all, I don't wear a lot of makeup. I kind of hate it. This probably took like, I don't know, a good 30 to 45 minutes at least. I think I started at 4:30, and at 5 I was like, oh, I better get out the door. So it took about 30 minutes.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You told me you quit your job, but what are you?
Oh yeah, like 2 years ago.
I know.
like a real job, like my last real job.
Well, like I was telling you, the reason I have to have people come in here and do this with me is because I meet them and see them in music. I see them at Burning Man. I see them out in the desert. I see all these things. Yeah. And I never know what they do. Right.
So 2 years ago, I got super stressed out at my job. I loved working there. I loved the company, and I loved who I was working with. But it just became, a little too much for me, and I decided that it was time for my chapter to end, and I didn't have anything lined up, but I knew that I needed to move on. So I gave notice, and the next day, a really good friend of mine was talking with him, and he said, hey, I'm buying a pirate ship in Bali. You want to come be a pirate with me? And I said, well,
Is that the one that you sent me the picture of?
Yeah.
I'm putting that shit live right now.
Yeah, so
there it is, folks. You can check that thing out.
That's
just gonna leave it in front of our faces for a few minutes.
That's hurt. So he's like, you want to come be a pirate with me? And I was like, well, I just quit my job. Why don't I just sell all my shit and do it? So I kind of made this crazy jump, and I did, and I haven't worked a regular job since, and I've been bouncing around the last 2 years.
So this pirate ship is. Wait, tell us about. I thought it was fake. I thought you sent me like a painting you did or something. I didn't look that close, so I thought like maybe it was a painting or something.
No, it's an actual ship in Bali.
Yeah, because you just say friend bought a pirate ship and just skip right over that onto like some shit about yourself. But I think we need to go back. And talk about the pirate ship for a second.
Yeah,
please.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy awesome.
I lived on it for 6 weeks. It's a Indonesian, I believe, merchant ship.
All right,
is what it was originally used for, but now it's chartered and rents it out, and it's Airbnb. So,
wait a minute, where can you find this thing online? Are you bullshitting? Wait, I'm gonna have to call this one.
No.
You're not bullshitting this?
No, I mean, I haven't looked it up in a while, but it was an Airbnb 2 years ago when I was on it. Now, I know when I was there, there were some issues with it. I can't even remember. It's been so long.
I'm going to go check this thing out.
Yeah, see if it's on there. Airbnb.
it's always amazing the stuff that's on there. Like if I type in, just for example, start with pirate ship. Like, just saying, folks were looking on Airbnb. Homes. I love you type in pirate ship and it just comes up with homes. I don't see any pirate ships here.
And Bali.
Wait a
It's
minute.
or a pirate boat or a boat maybe.
Pirate ship playground.
No.
No. Oh well, whatever. I spent a lot of time on Airbnb recently, so I'm closing that. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but anyway. So, do you know how long this thing is? How big this thing is?
80 feet.
Damn.
Yeah.
So we could fit this thing inside the 747. We might as well just go ahead and talk about 747 and pirate ships in the same breath.
Yeah, I don't think my friend wants to leave his ship out on the playa as long as 747's been there.
Folks, I'm gonna give you a quick treat. We're gonna regress just a little bit. We were talking before we went live, and for anyone that's interested, for good, bad, or worse, that's a net over the 747, which has been sitting there for quite some time. It is on private property now, though. And did you know I was part of that camp?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I get
kept
shit
asking
all
you.
the time. Because, like, some people are like, they're, like, making fun of it. And I don't care if they're making fun of it. Because, like, whatever, it is what it is. You got to, like, lick your wounds. Like, if you can leave a 747 for a little while and where it shouldn't be, you're going to get some heat.
Oh, yeah.
So, so fortunately I was not on the group of people that had to get it moved the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for like a week after the burn, tearing it all down, getting it all ready to move.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have to deal with that part after the
right
sort of explosion of social media, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but now it sits on a private ranch and it has a big net on it. It's kind of Halloween-y looking, isn't it?
It is kind of what I mean. Did they think it's going to fly away? Why is there a net on it?
I think it's to keep people from doing more graffiti. Because I don't know if you can really see it, but on the side, there's a tag there, like a spray paint tag. It was along the whole side. It said something like "Moop as fuck, yo."
Oh.
The irony was they put "yo" at the end of it. I thought, like,
I think
they're gonna
it
blame
would look
me.
good if it had, some decent graffiti on it. Because right now, it just looks like a plane.
we took it in stride.
Looks like a plane, but if it was all functified and had some art on it.
The guy Ken, that's kind of in charge of the whole project, he took it in stride and he didn't want the cuss words on the side of the plane, but he left the word "moop."
Oh,
It's a nice tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense.
do for a little compromise. It's okay. Yeah, I think the only thing that the 747 and your pirate ship have in common is the net. That's the only reason I brought it up now. Yeah, that's the only thing I can totally think of. Hey, you know what else I forgot to do? Usually at the beginning, I did introduce you. I got that part right.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually tell people, hey, if you were hanging out here now or later and you listened to that fine Halloween remix that was in the intro or the tag reel or whatever you call that trailer thing coming in, you can go get it for free. westsmith.com.
Awesome.
That's it. I usually say that. Forgot to say it. I usually talk about some unofficial sponsors too. Today it'll be St. Archer beer. Wait, I got to move it into the camera. Yeah, I like their beers. You don't drink beer, do you?
It's rare. It's rare. I don't drink beer. I'll have some wine. I'll have some tequila. What is this? El Jimador saves lives.
Somehow I remember though. Have you ever bartended at one of Gus's parties?
No.
At your break, like
Oh
at
yes,
his house,
at the
his apartment house thing or whatever that is. I'm
At
pretty
the
sure
little
I bought
warehouse.
a St. Archer from you, and it was the first time I had it.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
And now I'm still drinking it.
Oh,
I like them. I didn't know about them.
you're welcome.
Anyway, so threw that shit up there.
Yeah, I think I did the Christmas party last year.
All right. Well, that was my music stuff. But back to pirate ship. Let's get into it. Now it's all Maria Poppins. It's all Maria Poppins now. So what did you do the first thing when you went to the pirate ship? You went to Bali.
Yeah, I went to Bali. So I went. So, my friend who has the ship, his name is Sunny Red Eye, and it's also known as Sunny's pirate ship boat out there. And
You don't want to type that name in on a porn site.
I don't know. Maybe
Sunny
I
Red
did.
Eye.
Oh man.
Oh shit! Let's not do that.
Oh, man.
That we probably get banned for. We'll leave that one off.
so yeah, I flew out and I met. So Sunny is a part of a reggae rock band called Sunny Root, and they're based out of OB. And so he was the lead guitarist, and the lead singer Eric. We flew out. He flew out from, I believe, Pennsylvania, I think, and I flew out from LA, and we both got there on the same day. Got picked up by Pierce, went straight to the boat, and yeah, it was pretty magical. It's docked in Sarangang Harbor, and yeah, we were bunkmates, Eric and I, for 6 weeks.
How many beds are on a pirate ship?
I don't know, a lot.
An 80-foot pirate ship.
I mean, we were both on. We shared a space, and our beds were big enough to fit 2 people. I want to. They're probably doubles. And then Sunny, his cabin. He had the master cabin, of course. Had a king size bed in it. But I mean, there's crew that comes with the ship. So, and then they have 4 bunks.
They come with the ship, like when you buy the ship, or
pretty much.
The crew go
staff,
from owner to owner.
Mm-hmm. Staff came with.
Do you have any idea what a pirate ship costs? Any rough idea? Are we allowed to say that?
I'm not gonna say it.
Could I? If I guess a number, can I just kind of?
Yeah.
Because I know that.
I'll tell you what it's around.
I know what a 747 costs.
This one. I'll tell you what this one's around. I believe.
Like a 747, you can go up to the boneyard in Mojave Desert. They're up there, the airspace, whatever it's called, Mojave Airspace Boneyard, whatever. And they range from about $100,000 to maybe $500,000, depending on what's still on them, for a 747.
Okay.
Rough order of magnitude. So there's a pirate ship in that range. Yep. All right.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A working pirate ship with a crew.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where did y'all go first?
Well, I didn't actually go anywhere on the ship. I know, right? I know.
Yeah, you flew over there.
So we were supposed to go to the Gili Islands. And when that time, so I was on the boat for about 2 weeks. And we were going to go to the Gili Islands, but unfortunately there was a huge swell. And so we weren't able to leave, and all boats were docked by the harbor master. He couldn't go anywhere for a couple of days. And by that time, the boat was being rented out by a group.
Okay.
And so there would be like a couple of days where we would have to hop off the boat and go inland and hang out because it was being rented out. And then we would hop back on. Yeah. And then when they eventually did go to Gili Island, I decided to it was towards the end of my stay there, and I had met a girl and decided to bounce around the island with her. And I just wasn't ready to come back to the boat when they wanted to go. So I was having too much fun. So I didn't end up going anywhere on the boat.
So like 2 weeks on the boat? A week?
What do you mean?
How long were you on the boat?
About 6 weeks, and then I bounced around
so
for but there was a lot of a week would go by, and then we'd take a couple days off the boat and go venture inland.
Nice. Did you have to really do anything on the boat, or the crew kind of took care of it all?
No, I thought I would. I really wanted to do some work. So the
crew was
learn
cooking,
something.
cleaning.
I would wake up every morning, and as soon as I stepped out into the galley, coffee, breakfast, and I'd be like, okay, sure. Should I cook? No.
It's just like the Variety Show.
Oh, I feel. See that?
It's just like the Variety Show podcast.
My jewel just fell
Coffee's
off.
ready.
Save that.
Pancakes were ready for you.
I kind of felt like a princess, not a fucking pirate.
Well, then where did you go in Bali? I've never been there, by the way. So I mean, see how things go sideways when people come in here.
Yeah,
I did not know this.
So you okay? But have you been to Southeast Asia or that side of the world?
I have been to India a lot.
Yeah.
I've been, which is So I was pulling this up because I honestly couldn't tell you exactly where you were. But now I can see it on the big globe here.
Yeah.
So I've been all around India. The closest I've been to where you were was probably Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
I've been to Thailand, Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Malaysia. Yeah. So and I've been to Singapore.
Yeah.
Just a couple days. So yeah, I was close.
Yeah. So I mean, we just went to different beaches and areas. Ubud was probably my favorite. That's where they have the I call it the Rodeo Drive of Bali. So there's lots of boutiques and lots of yoga going on. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really cute village. I like it. They have the oh gosh, what's it called? I don't think it's called. It's the monkey forest. There?
Is it mostly? Is it when you're there? Is it? I mean, are a lot of expats or just tourists there? Like a lot of English
there are some.
or?
There are some touristy parts like Kuta Beach. Kuta is like a cross between Tijuana and Tijuana.
You say Tijuana,
it's kind of like Tijuana.
For anyone that's not from Southern California and hasn't gone to Tijuana, because there's definitely people that may be watching now and definitely later listen that get in here like from the East Coast and stuff. So if you're not, like I just have to remind people like Tijuana for us is 20 minutes away. And if you have all the right paperwork, you can get across pretty quick.
It's a cross between Tijuana and Vegas. I mean, say.
Tijuana has
without the gamble
has the Tijuana dog, which is like, have you eaten one of those?
No.
The hot dog wrapped in bacon. They deep fry it on the skewer, and then they put it on a bun and put like a chopped tomato and a bunch of other shit if you want it. But I think the traditional Tijuana street dog is that essentially the bacon wrapped around the dog.
Okay, so I've had the bacon wrap, but not anything deep fried. I don't.
Oh, it's deep fried for sure. Because I watched them the way I watched them do it the times I've been there. I think it maybe should be a Mexican thing because when I was in Guadalajara, they did the same thing there.
I feel like when I'm in TJ, I am rarely sober, so that's kind of like a blur. I know I've eaten it, but I don't sit there and pay attention, or if I did, I definitely don't remember. So.
All right, back to the islands, damn it. Back to the eastern side of the world.
They have like the enchanted monkey forest in Indonesia, or sorry, Bali, which is really neat looking place, super old. I did go to like a sacred waterfall.
I'm going looking for this monkey forest.
Ubud monkey forest, yeah.
The Ubud monkey forest. Check that out. By the way, this gets listened to just audio only later.
Okay.
A lot. So I describe some things sometimes because, but yeah, go check that out. Go Google the, what was it? Ubud?
Mm-hmm.
Ubud.
Yeah.
UBUD monkey forest. There's some pretty sweet pictures. It's all these monkeys on these. It's not just the monkeys. There's some temples and all kinds of stuff going on here. Yeah, that's cool. What was the other thing you said?
I went to a sacred waterfall. It's really crazy. So I became friends with a guy that I met at a place called, oh Lord, I think is it Grandpa's Dad's? Some bar in Uluwatu. And we decided to go to the monkey forest the next day. My friend Eric, God, I love him.
What language are you speaking? Or are these words in? Is it?
What?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever the words are. What is the language there?
Oh, there. Oh, Balinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think there's a couple. I think they have like a couple different dialects, but Balinese. So, but I was going to show you. So I ended up going to the sacred waterfall. I believe it's called Lampu Kantu or Kantu Lampu.
Okay.
It's not heavy with tourists.
The wrong lamp. I typed in. I'm googling for Lampu Kantu. It's probably something like this.
Kantu Lampu.
Maybe
it's something like that.
Like Untuk Lampu.
It's been 2 years since I've been there, so no, I don't. That's not it. It started with like a K or something. I would put like sacred waterfalls. Anyways, I ended up going with this Japanese guy who's from Russia, and he happened to be a photographer, and he took this really rad picture. My phone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember that picture when you posted it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
how long ago was that?
It's 2 years, dude.
Have I known you that long? I guess so.
Yeah.
I've known you since the first shit show.
Uh-huh.
That's where I met you.
So, yes. That is, and you brought the streamliner. That's the waterfall.
We're going ghetto.
It's very short. Very short. Anyways, Yeah, that is where we met. A long, long time ago. Who are you with? Mike. A
I
guy
forget.
named Mike.
I always. Yeah. Sometimes
went
I
to
also
Mike.
forget to tell people how I know people
And
when
there
they
was
come in
an
here.
Airstream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I should rewind that real quick. We should rewind that real quick. So my impression of meeting you the first time was,
Oh,
well,
Lord.
I've told the story before about Michael and the Airstream and getting there and getting harassed, and you weren't there at that point, like fun harassed, like hazed. That I've told on other episodes. And by the way, Michael came on here and did a whole episode on how to make tequila one time.
Did he?
It was good
Aw,
times.
how
Like
is he?
episode
Where
30
is
or
he?
something. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He's doing awesome. But so yeah, we rolled up there. I think the first time I met you was you were inside that fire bar with not a lot of clothes on. And Michael and I were just like, fuck yeah. I think we had just woken up from a nap or something because they turned up all the bass. And what we didn't know, like they're like, yeah, park anywhere. We're like, well, this looks good and open, and no one really said anything.
Were you like on the dance floor?
We're like right in front of the fucking stacks. I'm to this day, and Brian Despot, he won't Messenger Despot, he won't admit to it, but to this day, I'm pretty sure that they let us put it there because they knew that we were going to be getting rattled by bass bins the whole weekend. It was hilarious.
I
Yeah.
love all the practical.
Toilet seat was shaking. It was
Oh
hitting
my
so
god!
hard.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Michael and I
awesome.
couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my
And
God.
we were all fucked up on tequila, and it was like 5 a.m. and we just both start laughing. All pitch quiet except for the bass, and then we start hearing the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Something.
man, that's really funny. I love that.
Anyway, that's where we met.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Damn it, time flies.
That was, I believe, the second shit show. I want to say
It was the second one. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
Mojave, but it was the second one. I think.
Right. Yeah. So
And then they moved it somewhere else a little closer, which I went
right.
to
So
one
that
of
was the
those.
third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ray and I organized that one, the second one. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that I feel like I'm a little bit more tame. There was like I remember there was like bottle rockets being shot out of body parts.
I just remember. I wish I looked for a picture, but I didn't realize how long. I just wasn't looking at the right
It's been a
timeline.
minute.
Probably I didn't have any, but I was afraid to take pictures when I was there. I was like, dude, this is crazy. I was just
It's
like,
really
I don't even
nuts.
know if this is supposed to be happening.
Right.
But yeah, like let me paint this picture for people a little closer now. So this bar, does that bar have a name? The Burning Bar.
So that bar was called the Bastards Bar.
The Bastards
It's
Bar.
now been burnt. The third shit show
It's
got
gone.
burnt down to the ground on purpose. And now they've had a newer version called Los Bastardos.
What is it made of? That big wheel thing? Because it looks like
Wood.
a big cable wheel or something. Like
It's
you
wood.
put cable on.
It's wood.
Okay, so it's not like some piece they get from the foam company or some shit, like steal it or something.
No.
Because it looks like a big, it's about 10 feet, maybe 12 feet. So it looks kind of like it could be a big wood, like cable reel or something.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right? That's what I thought it was.
No.
But then it has, all right, so they built it. And then this thing has, basically this copper pipe that has natural gas or LP gas or some kind of
Propane.
propane running through it. Yeah, get your gases right, folks, because you can really fuck some shit up with the wrong
Right.
kind of gas. You could die breathing it.
Definitely.
And then it had this I guess it's just something that all propane people know, but it had this like steel wool wrapped around the whole thing to maybe keep it like from not, I don't know, poofing so much or something. I'm not sure why that was there.
I don't know.
Any idea? No, but it was there.
Yeah.
I remember winding it and nothing coming out of it, like the pilot lights, and then all of a sudden someone saying like fire in the hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it like almost took off Michael and mine's brows. Yeah,
So
and
when-
you're standing there with a machete. I'm still painting the picture. You're standing there with a machete, telling us probably not to be pussies or something. I'm sure she used a different word. And smashed the machete down on the wood bar. A little bit of wood flying. Yeah, topless. It was awesome. And blood everywhere. It was great.
Yeah.
Fake blood.
It,
As I came to learn.
Thank God.
I mean, with the way that weekend was going, it wouldn't have surprised me if someone had actually said it was like, I don't know, from a chicken or something, but I was like, that would be so gross. They wouldn't do that.
The fake blood deal with that. So, I mean, if you come to the Bastards Bar and you're not at the burn, fake blood, you can, it's called, there was a sign at the last Utopia, consensual blood play.
Yeah.
So we are the bar that, if you want it, we'll spit blood in your face.
If you
or
don't.
wherever you want it, I guess. Yeah, so it's like, turns into this like shit show, a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I feel like I'm kind of crazy. You know, cool, good, kind of crazy.
Oh no,
And
I'll confirm it.
Right.
We're good.
But when the crazy people are kind of like, okay, that shit's crazy and want to take a step back, I usually do go running when the blood comes out. I don't like it on me. I
did it once with y'all. Can't say I'm a big fan.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. That's for the younger kids.
Is that what it is? All right.
But it came from Utopia, where there was a situation with actual blood.
Ah.
So
that's the roots of
somebody jumped over the bar and punched somebody else in the nose, and there was just blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like became a thing, and then next
I
thing
just
I know,
remember
there's
it running 24/7 is what it felt like.
Yeah. Next thing I know, there's
And,
fake blood every time we have it on.
But I also still see a number of those people around from the first shit show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good time. Or the first one I went to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good time. That was the first time I had ever gone to a party in the desert. That you probably
Really?
didn't know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, literally less than 4 weeks before that was the first time I had met Skandar. I met him
Oh.
at Spin
Okay. Uh-huh.
because Brian and Skandar were there doing their thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were part of a party there, like a wobble party or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've yet to go to a wobble.
there you go.
Actually.
So they're less and less frequent now. So maybe every a 5-year cycle or
Mhm.
something. Maybe
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, and I was just hanging out there, and Brian wasn't gonna go. It wasn't his thing, but Skandar was there, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, you go, blah blah blah, whatever."
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when I get out there, Skandar's not there,
Okay.
of course, and so out when we're getting close out there, he's like, "Oh yeah, just no problem. My buddy Brian knows you're coming, and he'll take
Vouch
care
for
of
you.
things." Yeah.
Yeah, because not everybody can just come out.
Of course, we don't know what he looks like. So we get there, and he doesn't tell us it's him.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's just fucking with us the whole time. Like, that's what we went through. It was awesome, though. It was a good time. And Michael, I think that was maybe his only desert party ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you
he
guys-
did that and then bounced to Mexico, which is where he's living now.
Really?
Guadalajara.
Love
He's
it.
been there 3 years.
Good for him.
If you ever go there,
I will.
remember he's there.
I will.
It's got a big, nice, like cool, old downtown. It was a drug house or something.
Nice.
Renovated it. Just
Good.
renting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Sweet.
Married, got a kid.
Nice.
Just chilling.
Did you shoot? Did you shoot any guns while at the shit show?
No, but I like guns.
Yeah, they're fun.
You have to be more careful talking about guns on here than you do drugs and illegal things.
Great.
I
Well,
grew up shooting guns.
did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
My whole life my whole childhood. At
Mhm.
least till I was 10 or 12, for sure.
Where are you from?
Florida is where I grew up.
Okay.
Everybody there shoots guns.
That's cool.
I don't know about now, but they did when I grew
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up and we definitely have guns in the family. I'm originally from Bakersfield and I was raised super honky. My mom's side of the family, God bless them.
That's what they would call me, except I'm from the East, so they would have said redneck.
I was gonna say my mom's side of the family, all redneck.
Mm.
So, yeah, I grew up camping, fishing, and camping was not where you go to these parks and there's already a bench for you and a fireplace. No, we rode in horseback.
Like boondocked. Like out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
No electricity, no
Yeah.
restroom,
Yeah.
no nothing.
Yeah.
And we made our own campsite. Yeah, riding in on horseback and a few miles deep, way up in the mountains. And yeah.
You said Bakersfield?
I'm originally from
Is where you're
Bakersfield.
originally from?
Yeah.
I've been through Bakersfield a few times.
Don't ever
Interesting.
stop.
No,
Don't
I
ever
mean,
stop.
yeah. I mean, I feel you there. I never lived there. I just been through there a few times. There's some
Mhm.
decent craft breweries there.
Is there?
It's probably inexpensive to
Yeah.
rent,
Yes.
like
yes.
industrial warehouses. So there's some craft, brew like warehouses.
Mhm.
So they just have their brew pubs there. Yeah, I do that every now and then. Cruise through California and just stop at brew pubs. little solo mission trips, kind of fun. But so I kind of figured you had some outdoorsiness to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're a California native.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, another one on here. Out of
Oh.
like 66. No, I'm just saying it's
Is
only
that
like
a bad
3.
thing? Really?
No, it's great.
No way.
No, I like 3 or
Wow.
4. Colin Colvasalo, United by Base. Colin, that guy.
I don't.
He helps me out with juice with the label.
Okay.
He's native Californian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, born and raised. I'm sure there's a few others. I probably didn't ask them,
Okay.
but now that I think about it more,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Definitely been here way too long.
the so the spirit of adventure. Back to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, somehow we went like 4 or 5 different topics from Bali.
I figured that was going to happen.
I'm going back to Bali.
Okay. Going,
Yeah.
Going. Back.
I'm just because I'm interested.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna go there next time I go over to India.
It's
Now I'm
super
going
fun.
there because I'm
Super
hearing
fun.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else interesting about that?
I mean, what did I do while I was there? Did a lot of dancing. Simayak. It's a nice, cute beach town. I mean, they're all beach towns. You know why I like Bali is because, first of all, I'd never been overseas before. And I liked it because just about everybody speaks English, which is super convenient.
That beats the shit out of like your first trip to London.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't
Go to
know.
Bali on
you
a
know?
pirate ship. No, I'm just saying.
Right.
Trust me, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, super convenient. Everybody speaks English. I love it. Hot as hell, though. I mean, if you can hang with the 99% humidity at 99 degrees,
Yeah.
you'll be fine. Dude, I adapt. I mean, when I first got there, I was kind of, dying to have a lot of hair. And then towards the end, I was just like wearing my hair down. I didn't really wear makeup a lot because it would just slide off.
I'm looking at the temperature up
I'm
in
like,
this
fuck
place.
that.
Oh, yeah, it is hot.
Uh-huh.
That's Celsius, 33. 30. Woo. All right. It's so funny because like I think pretty much everywhere else in the world uses Celsius.
Mm-hmm. Except for
Except
hair.
us.
Right.
I always feel so stupid trying to like convert it, but I know over 30 is hot.
Yeah. I went during like, what they call their winter.
Okay.
And so when going into shops.
But it's hot there then.
It's hot as hell.
According to this thing,
It's
that's when it's the
hot.
hottest.
It's
January,
hot,
February.
but they do have like typhoons, tropical rainstorms. I had ridden a motorcycle before, but it had been probably like 8 years since I had been on like a motorbike, and the majority of people over there ride motorbikes. So I rented one for 5 weeks. And at first you're kind of like, you want to be really careful. You even think, I had a friend hit me up and was like, what kind of bike are you on? What kind of gear are you wearing? You should like really invest in like a jacket and some boots. And I was like, girl, I'm in a sundress and my flip-flops. I'm trying to blend in, There are 3 people sitting on these motorbikes with the dog, like entire families on one little motorbike. I just loved it. It's super
You gotta
rad.
try to blend in. If you don't look super white.
Yeah. I mean,
You
it
gotta
didn't
try to
matter
blend
though.
in.
It didn't matter with like my hair and I dress kind of funky and I wear big earrings. Like I would be on the motorbike and at a stoplight and a guy would be like, "Where are you from?" And I would say California, and they'd be like, "Okay, cool, cool." They're like fascinated with California, Hollywood, LA, the music as
Interesting.
well. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So I definitely got a lot of looks, especially from little girls. Girls
Oh
were like,
yeah. Was
loving
your hair
it.
like this color when you
My
were
hair
there?
was not this
Light?
color. It wasn't this color, but
Mm.
I had like designs shaved in the side of my head, and
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of rare over there. But
Yeah.
but one night we had ridden all the way up to Ubud from the ship. It's about 14 miles. The drive is an hour and 20 minutes roughly.
Okay.
So we went up there, we were hanging out, had dinner, and we kept, it started to rain. So we kind of chilled out in this restaurant. And then after a while, the rain stopped and we're like, we should take this window and try to drive, ride back. So I actually had a guy on the back of my bike, um, and my friend Piercy on his bike. Now he had like an enduro like type big dirt bike, you know, a lot
Not like
higher,
the little 50
light higher.
cc,
Yeah,
the 50 cc
no,
scooter
I'm
they're
on
all
like
riding.
this little like moped
Yeah.
thing with the guy on the back of my bike, and we take off in about 5 minutes, just pouring rain, and so we pull over. I put on my poncho. They had to go buy some, and we get back on the road, and we're riding down the road, and seriously, it's flooding. There's like a spare tire floating down. My feet are in like just in the water with the wheels and everything else. And so we kind of take cover under there's a liquor store, but it's closed. Everything is closed because we were just riding through these little villages, and it's about 11 o'clock at night.
At night, yeah.
So we're like,
Shit gets quiet at night there, doesn't
yeah,
it?
oh,
Like
yeah.
nobody's out.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
then
curfew.
you're also in the middle of the fucking jungle.
Yeah.
So we're just like trying to
and
wait
there's
it
zero,
out.
And there's zero irrigation, which is why it all floods like that.
Right. So, the guy who I had on the back of my bike actually had like a serious cut on his foot, and his feet were in the water. And he's like, dude, I'm not trying to get an infection. Maybe we should try to just keep going. So we're like, all right.
It's probably cleaner than our drinking water.
I don't think I've ever gripped anything so hard. It rained the whole way, and you couldn't even see the street, and there's potholes. And I'm just praying to God that I'm not going to, like, hit a pothole or slide off my bike. But for an hour and 20 minutes, gripping, the steering wheel. As soon as we got back to the dock of the ship and we made it alive, immediately went to the bar and had to have drinks. And that was how a lot of the driving went, especially in the beginning.
But the guy driving was a friend of yours? Or no?
Right, on the back?
Yeah, well, no, you were riding on the back, or you were riding?
I was driving.
You were driving.
He was on the back. That was my bike. You're not going to put me on the back of my bike.
All right.
So, no, he was riding on the bike. He was actually visiting. He's from LA, and he was out in Bali visiting. So, anyways, but we made it. Thank God. But I can't believe when riding down the road, a car would come past, and the first time we both just got flooded. And we're both wearing, I think maybe just me, wearing a bandana. I always wore a bandana
Super helpful with
motorcycle. Yeah, seriously, drowning. It was like getting waterboarded, and I'd like pull down my bandana and gasp for air. And so from then on, when a car came, I would tell him, look left, and we would look left and just splash. I mean, we were soaked.
That's one of those things, like rain and drainage is one of the small things that you learn to appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
Here
Oh, yeah.
In the States and other developed, I guess, countries. Because the times I've been to India, one time I went to Mumbai, and I decided I would take the train, which, like, if you're taking the train in Europe or even the Amtrak here, then me talking about taking the train in India sounds like, sissy or whatever, but it's like a next dimension, because it's basically, it's like, it is hands down like the mode of transportation it's like the lowest, cheapest level, economic scale transportation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like over here where it's the opposite. If you're taking Amtrak, you're like, shitting in high cotton or whatever, right? Like, you're like, $100 to go from here to LA or whatever, right? That kind of distance over in India, you could go 12 hours for like $8 or something less, $5 maybe or something. Some people just hop on. So it's the low end of the transportation. And so anyway, I did that for 12 hours. I got to Mumbai, and when I got out, I didn't know that it was monsoon season.
Oh God!
So it wasn't raining yet.
Uh-huh.
So I got off, and I was like, okay, like me and my smart ass self was like, oh, I'm going to plan this and just walk from the train to this hotel, because I was going to stay at a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this will work great. It's like a 20-minute walk or something. It ended up being like 2 hours, and it started raining because, just winding roads.
Mm-hmm.
And but same kind of thing. Like, just, I couldn't believe it. Like a good, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches of water just flowing through the street. Mm-hmm. So I'm up walking on now the side kind of thing, some dirt, broken sidewalks, all that. It's just, it's just a mess, you know. And I was like, I remember, I definitely distinctly after you mentioned your trip there, like thinking about that because it was like, that's just you just don't realize it till you're like walking through, and that's like in the middle of that went where I was walked straight up to like what was considered. They actually have 6-star hotels there for whatever reason. So I was in a 4. Yeah, I was in a 4 thinking, well, I'm not staying in a 5. You know, that'll be like too much. I'm thinking that's the top. And then they're like, oh, no, we have 6 here. I'm like, oh, shit. So 4 is like in the middle. Anyway, yeah. So, but when I got there and I walked past like a little like shanty town thing, I thought it was little. And then, you know, just whatever, just tarps, you know, look like Burning Man over there. You know, like just on the side of the street. And I thought it was a market at first, and I realized people were living in there. And then I went in the hotel. They were all cool. You know, I went up to my room, was just going to get some sleep. And I was up about, I don't know, 10 floors, something like that. Anyway, I could see out my window. It was just crazy rain. But I could see what I thought was just that little Shantyville area. Must have been 1 million people there. Crazy. Wow. It was as far as you could see. That like, and I was like, this is so weird, man. I wanted to like write a book or something. You know, like I was like, here I am drinking my coffee dry now, and I'm looking out of this hotel. I really felt so bad. I just felt bad. I was like I'm like in this hotel, like nice hotel, and like right there, it was like 1 million. It was a lot of damn people. It was as far as you could see, and it was all blue tarps, just blue tarps, an ocean of blue and gray tarps, and all this water just flowing through there, living there. You know,
I wouldn't say you should feel bad, but maybe grateful. You know, for what you got.
At the time, I didn't know what to feel. Yeah, I guess that was, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yeah. Grateful, yeah. There you go, for being born here, without a doubt. Yeah, gotta be. So, how long were you there overall?
Just 6 weeks.
Oh, total.
I didn't know.
Oh,
you know,
so
I wasn't even sure how long I was gonna go. I didn't. I don't think I even booked a return when I first went. But then I realize now, you know, 6 weeks is a long time in the same place. So I think next time probably 2 weeks would have been good, and then probably would have hopped over to the Philippines.
Did you have good showers on the boat?
On the boat, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it was not bad at all. Yeah, it was fine.
What made 6 weeks a long time?
Huh?
What made 6 weeks a long time? 6 weeks at Burning Man's a long time.
That is true.
But it's probably kind of the same thing. You're on a boat, new people.
Yeah. I wanted to see.
You know.
I'm joking again.
Damn. You're going to make me start drinking that in a second.
Oh. Damn you, M&M's.
I can get you some water. You want me to get some water?
I don't believe in water.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, water would be cool, but I don't want you to get up right now. So
and for her next trick, she doesn't believe in water. All right.
No, yeah, I just didn't, you know, 2 weeks I think would have been enough time, and bounced around. What made it so long, I guess, was, you know, staying on the boat and not going anywhere, I guess, would be kind of, well, it just gets old.
What's the longest you've been out at Burning Man?
Like a week and a half?
Oh, yeah.
Or, wait a second, sorry. Yeah, like a week and a half.
Yeah,
nothing crazy. I don't know.
Last year I was there 21 days, and I got to tell you, I feel like I can share that feeling with you with your boat. After 21 days, I was like, I gotta go.
Well,
I was like, I just gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
man.
But you know what?
You know?
I mean,
you're at the end of the road.
Well, I could have stayed longer. You know, at Burning Man though, you gotta go. You start falling apart. You see, like all my nails always break off like that.
Down.
Oh yeah. Everything's like super dry. Just I like beg for indoor plumbing. After being out at the burn, we had it there on the boat, so it was nice. It was really nice. It was really nice having meals cooked for me every day. I did though make them French toast. I made the staff French toast one morning, and mind blown. And along with that, syrup. They've never had syrup before.
I think syrup.
And I was like, you're supposed to put syrup on. And they're like, what is it? And I'm like, taste it. And they're like, oh, and like pass it to the next guy. And it's like, oh, yeah. Just
I don't want to say syrup's an American thing, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's something terrible we invented.
Probably.
Because it's definitely terrible for you. Like, I mean, molasses, honey, maybe that's all molasses or whatever. Maybe, you know, Canada, I don't know, whatever. It's probably all from Europe. Probably all from London.
Yeah, I also made them.
No, man, syrup's not American. Nothing's American, including the people.
True. I'm not American. What are you?
I'm just straight mud, but the only thing I can really trace to is English on my
Mm-hmm.
father's side. On
Mm-hmm.
my mother's side, no like European stuff that was
Yeah.
like clothes,
Yeah.
just a mix of things.
Mm-hmm.
There's like you could go back as far as you want and find anything you want probably, but I do actually have like a 16th. I got a great grandma up there somewhere that was some kind of Indian,
Oh,
American
okay.
Indian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I thought that was all just a joke when I was a kid, but it really wasn't. It was legit. And
It's like true.
we had all this stuff like in a chest that was like from her Indian days, Like that's
Oh,
how she
wow.
lived out her life.
That's really
It's
cool.
like a great grandma or great great grandma. Yeah, it was legit.
Cool.
Yeah,
Right on.
that's it. But you were so let's see. After Bali, your world travels. I see you going doing this like you just did a trip. Was that the next trip
Burning
after
Man?
Bali? No, not Burning Man.
The next
Like
trip
cruising
after
across.
Bali?
You were just hopping around in a motorhome. You're all like, "Oh, I'll
Oh,
be gone for 2 months.
so
I'm not on Facebook.
once upon a time.
Use my phone." That's the best when people do that now. They're like, "So, if you don't see me on Facebook for like 3 weeks, use my phone."
No, I was on Facebook. Definitely on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I used to work at an elementary school for 3 years, and I worked in preschool. And in preschool, I became friends with this little boy. Um, his parents were like heavy metal musicians. It was a music academy that I used to work at, and
All
just
right.
about every kid in the school played an instrument.
It's gotta be a fun job.
It was awesome.
You know.
Oh, it's so awesome. I obviously have a thing with kids.
Yeah.
But anyways, this little guy, picked me and became friends with him. Started watching him after school. Became friends with mom, and he was 4 at the time, and now he is 13. And that trip that you saw me on, so basically, mom is from the East Coast and decided to sell her home, sell her business, and move to North Carolina, where she bought a house.
All right.
And so she asked me if I wanted to help her move.
Get it
So
all
I
done.
drove. Yeah. So she got the RV. I drove her truck.
I was gonna say you're like I can drive an 18-wheeler. I'll do it.
I can.
I know. I
No.
know. I
You know
have
what?
no
That's-
doubt that you would try, even if you
that's the
haven't.
next one. I feel like I was a truck driver in my previous life. Honestly, like I drive for
That's not something that generally I would think I would say, and if someone might take it as a compliment.
I
But
like
yeah,
it.
Yeah, you'd be
I
like,
like
"That's
driving
right."
big vehicles, but yeah, like for festivals and stuff, I'll drive like a 30-foot reefer truck. I mean, air chair, super fun. Yeah, I haven't done the 18-wheeler. I would like to though, maybe just to say I did it, not because I want to do it as a professional.
What kind of stuff have you done with festivals? I know you're involved in all kinds of music stuff here and there.
Well, so no, I mean, with festivals, I got a job through a friend of mine, working at festivals, working with a food vendor called Captain's Barbecue Shack. And he has, I believe, 9 different mac and cheeses and 4
Is
different.
that the one you were doing at Desert Hearts?
Yeah.
When I saw you
Yep.
there? Okay.
4 different tri-tip sandwiches, all kinds of stuff, breakfast stuff, salads. They have all kinds of stuff there. So that's when you see me work in festivals, that's usually what I'm doing. I'm working with Captains.
That tri-tip was the jam.
Yeah,
the tri-tip
it always
mac and
is.
cheese.
It always it always is. That's one of my favorites. And then there was a minute when I wasn't really.
How many festivals did you go to doing that?
I think 1 year.
It was like a summer or
Yeah,
a year.
yeah. It's like because we started off at Lucidity. I started off at Lucidity, and I missed Desert Hearts 2 years
Where's
ago.
Lucidity at?
Lucidity is out of Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I started there. I think the first year I might have done like 8 with him or 7.
That's a lot.
I get confused because I also you make friends,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then when Captain doesn't work a certain festival, but somebody else needs you to work, then I go and work for another vendor. But yeah, I'm primarily work for Captain.
But that's also kind of squeezed into like March to September, isn't it? It's like
yes.
Yeah. So it's really only 6 months that's spread out over.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think I do anything for him in September because I ended it with the burn. I ended up getting a job working for another food vendor at Oregon Eclipse last year. But yeah, super fun, hard work, hard physical labor, which
So
I never
it's
thought.
probably like worse than building a Burning Man camp. It's probably harder because you don't put that whole.
It
looked like a. It looked like
I
a
will say
shed.
I will say it is, yeah, because
log cabin.
we put together this thing that looks like a shack.
Yeah.
You know,
It looked like it was just part of the reservation, but it's not.
No,
I realized you
it's like
brought the
our
whole thing
little
in.
thing. Yeah. I mean, it takes like when we had 10 people, it would take like 8 hours to set up. You know, it's a lot of work. We're basically building a restaurant, and then after we build our restaurant, it's like, you know, after you build your Burning Man camp, you get to go play.
Yeah.
We fucking work.
Well, not if you're with 747 projects. But
Right.
I think with some you do. No, we did. We get to go burn, but it's tough.
Right. So, I
It's
mean,
that kind
but
of thing.
don't get
It's
me
tough.
wrong. Like, luckily, we have had an awesome crew full of awesome people that we work with. And even though we just worked a 15-hour day, we're done for the night. And
Yeah.
you guys want to go out? Okay, cool. Let me get on my jacket.
Yeah, the
Let
good
me
part
get
is
my
you
stuff.
go
Yeah.
out is 20 yards away.
Right. We go out
Yeah.
20 yards away, but that's what's rad, though. I mean, after 15 hours a day working a regular job in the real world, I don't want to hang out with the people I work with usually, you know, and keep going.
I don't
But,
want to do anything after a 15-hour workday.
Right.
In the regular
But
world.
I mean, that's just the vibe. I mean, it's super awesome. It's really magical, and it's unlike any other place that I've ever worked for. And it made me super grateful for shoveling manure as a child, you know, doing all that hard, you know, like ranch type
Do y'all have
work.
a ranch? I know you said Bakersfield.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of
So
open land out there.
my aunt had, I think, like an acre, so, but she had tons of animals. We had horses, goats, chickens. I had a pet pig as a child. We had a pet turkey. Wasn't very smart. So I was raised around like farm animals.
A pet turkey that wasn't very smart.
Wasn't very smart. He drowned in this like little ass pond.
How does a turkey drown? They don't swim?
No, apparently not. No.
Huh. I thought all birds
No.
could float on water.
I don't know
Like,
what happened.
Fly down
Maybe.
and sit on water. They don't.
I don't know.
Apparently not.
I mean, that's the story I was told, and it's funny because like just last year I like brought it up.
Somebody shot him.
Just last year I brought it up to my mom, and
Y'all
I was
ate
like,
him for Thanksgiving
I
that year.
was
They
like-
didn't tell you.
I was like, tell me the truth. His name was Sam. I was like, did Sam really die in that pond?
No.
She's like, no, he was fucking dumb. He died in the pond.
He
So.
was dumb.
Anyways, I was really grateful.
I hope they ate him.
I don't know if we did. I can't remember if we ate him or not. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I had a pet pig. I knew what was going to happen to him. I wanted to be there when it happened. I was 5, and
Like, as in, you knew that y'all were going to eat him?
I knew that he was going to die and we were going to eat him.
That's interesting that I didn't grow up I grew up around a farm from my mother's side,
Mhm.
but I mostly would just visit some, never long enough to become friends with the animals.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting, though, that you would become friends with the animals,
So you know,
knowing that you're going to,
right. So
Yeah.
here's my thing.
that's a different scenario.
Right. So here's my thing with that. You know, I come across people who are like,
I need a
Don't-
sip of tequila for this.
right, don't name your animals. You're going to eat them.
Right,
Don't.
that's what they say.
I do not believe that. We're gonna eat this. We're gonna eat this creature. And it has a soul. That's what I believe. It has a soul.
Mhm.
I'm gonna love it, just like my dog, just like my brother, just like my mom. It's providing for me. I'm gonna give it a good life if I'm allowed to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it love. You know, I don't believe in like not becoming attached to something because I'm going to eat it. No, fuck that. I believe quite the opposite.
But if you got a pet, you wouldn't, like if you got a pet for pet's sake, you wouldn't plan on eating it.
No.
So you can
I
separate
wouldn't.
the two. That's interesting.
You could, but I don't. I'm just a firm believer. First of all, I'm super empathetic. If I'm going to die for you, feed me, scratch my fucking back. Like, give me a fucking break.
Oh,
You
that's
know?
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and I like, it's something that like I just am a big believer in I just believe in like loving all things if I'm allowed
Yeah, I
to.
guess like why not, right? Like
Right.
why not have them be as chill as possible while
Right.
they're alive?
Yeah.
I'll have to consider that if I ever have a ranch or a
Right.
farm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I talk to all the. I mean, so right now I'm on Ramona. So like we have like chickens and like a couple alpacas and some sheep, and I've like talked to all the animals. Like
Yeah.
I'm like this really weird, freaky Snow White. Just
We
like
had-
talk to all the animals.
I had two Boston Terriers. I've had them on here before on the podcast.
Oh,
before.
you have?
Well, one of them we had to put to sleep recently, like a few weeks ago. Yeah, so that was challenging. But it's interesting that you were saying that because he was having all kinds of problems, had some infection. He had all kinds of allergies his whole life anyway, so he was kind of a genetic mess anyway. And he was getting a lot of good treatment and stuff, and it was definitely helping. He was a happy dog, came a long way. It was a rescue, all this. But yeah, so eventually he got this like thing in his back leg. They had to do surgery. His body wouldn't react to the antibiotics and stuff, you know. So he was just kind of done, you know. So we had to put him down, but it was interesting because through all of the like, you could definitely tell his moods, like when he was having a surgery, especially if it was late night when he would normally be sleeping, had to rush him to the hospital, or whatever, that kind of thing. And then the day we went to put him down, we took him and just like took him like out in the grassy yard at the vet hospital and just chilled out for a couple hours with him, made him like super chill.
Yeah.
Fed him like carnitas and stuff, which he could never eat.
Yeah.
You know, because of his allergies.
Right.
So they're like, load him up with whatever. It doesn't matter now. So,
so
he was like grizzling on carnitas, took a nap. He was all super chill. And then, you know, and then we just did the process. And you know, that I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
With like I think it happened to one of our animals when I was a kid.
Right.
But I didn't go to the thing.
Yep.
So this was the first time I had been to one where you put him down and like be there with him.
Yeah.
And that was a really interesting experience.
Yeah.
You know? Very emotional.
Right.
Super emotional.
I had that experience too for the first time in January.
Did you? Yeah. With a dog?
With a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's dog. Well,
But you knew the dog.
I knew the dog.
Obviously.
Yeah, I knew the dog. I called her my little sister.
Yeah.
Because when him and my stepmom got together, her name was Buffy. They got her. And so that was basically like their first child together. So I called her my little sister. She was 13.
Just got old, and they decided to put her down.
Just got old. Well, she was getting old, and she was just kind of like not all there, and it was time. It was time to put her down. So I just happened to be in town when this was going on. So I told my dad I would go with him to do it.
Yeah.
And I have this like weird thing with death and like all, like creatures, all living things. But anyways, I was all about it. I was all about going and, you know, kind of just like talking to her and letting her know that she was going to be going to this like amazing place. Yeah, she was about to be seeing all kinds of cool colors and,
right.
Yeah. So, and then I felt very strongly about, staying after she had what seemed to us had passed.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes maybe like a spirit, it you know, doesn't exactly know what's going on, especially with the animal. There, you know, I feel like a big difference between animals and humans is the language barrier. You know,
well,
right. So I just felt very strongly about staying a little bit after.
It's funny, almost like they want to know. It's kind of like they want to know what you're trying to say, right? Like they have a lot more. These two dogs were inside house dogs, and I had only always had like outside dogs. So you at least my experience is you don't get near as in tune with their moods and everything when they're outside dogs. You know, and those were bigger dogs too, so maybe that didn't have anything to do with it, but definitely having them inside all the time when they're always around you, like you definitely like notice all the little everything they do, and they definitely have a very wide range of emotions and facial gestures and just body gestures. Like you can tell if someone had told me when I was a teenager, "Oh, a dog's depressed," I would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Right?
You know?
Right.
But these guys, I would be like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
He's totally like. You know, pouting.
Super sad right now.
He's totally pouting.
Yeah.
Got to go take him for a run or do something, you know.
I mean, that's how my dog is. I have a dog. He's with my dad right now. He's a Chihuahua, but every time I I'm like passing by town and I go, and he's been with my dad. So when we put Buffy down, I decided to leave my dog. His name's Puppy Chulo. He's a cute little,
Of course.
he's a cute little Chihuahua.
Of course, that's what his name is.
He is so rad. He is not a yapper. He's super chill. I'm really grateful that all my friends like. I think most of my friends like him.
What kind of dog was he?
He's a little Chihuahua.
Oh, Chihuahua.
Yeah, he's a little Chihuahua. He's actually been to a shit show.
Good for him.
Unexpectedly,
Good for
I
him.
did not. First of all, I don't like bringing my dogs out to parties. Or my dog. I don't like bringing my dog out to parties. I don't like being around.
I took mine to a party in Ramona.
Did you?
It's like some rave
Oh,
at some dude's house.
Really?
Yeah, it was like someone rented a big house out there in Ramona.
Really?
Those big houses out
Is that
there.
the house that I stay at?
Maybe.
It could be.
Could have been.
It could be. Does it
Big
have a
pool.
Pool?
Yeah.
With
in a backyard because I took my trailer.
Yeah, because you camp out.
I did
That's
because
where I
they
live.
didn't allow dogs or didn't want dogs.
Right.
But I was like, yo, I'll bring my trailer and
Right.
just keep them there in the
uh-huh.
trailer. So they were like, okay, it's cool.
So that's where I live.
Really?
Yes, I live on that property. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I know. It's really awesome.
That's crazy.
I'm blessed.
Beautiful place.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
There's like 100 people there or something around for the weekend. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. So, but back to Puppy Chulo. Yeah, I don't believe in bringing him. I don't want to bring him to parties and stuff because the ears, the system, the
It's not
speakers.
good. It's
not
definitely
my
not good for him.
Anyways, yeah, he made it out there. But yeah, by spending so much. First of all, I have never loved anything more in my life than I have loved this creature. He is so rad and chill and smart, and he's got mad attitude. So every time I leave my dad's, I tell him, I give him, like, I always pick him up and tell him, okay, I'm leaving, I love you, bye. And he gets so fucking pissed. First of all, he won't, like, usually he gives me I say kisses.
Because he knows you're leaving.
Yes.
Oh.
I say kisses and he won't look. I'm like, look at me. He won't look at me. And then when I put him, I'm like, okay, I put him down. And then he just like gets his toy and he's like, like fucks with his toy. And then I'm like, all right. And it happens every single time, only when I am leaving. Only when I say
Michael
goodbye.
had Chihuahuas.
Oh, really?
Those were his dogs of
wait.
choice. Yeah.
Okay, wait.
He had him. One died as well, like in the last year or so. And then he got this, I think you pronounce it like Cholohuitzol or something. It's a Mexican national dog. It's
Okay.
like their dog,
Oh.
country dog.
Oh.
It's hairless.
Do we have a country dog?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if it's like an official thing, but everyone there says
Oh, it's hairless.
it's hairless.
Like a hairless chihuahua?
but bigger.
Oh, okay, but
Like,
bigger.
Maybe
Okay.
30 pounds.
Okay, cool.
Something like that.
Growing up, we
But
used to,
hairless.
yeah, growing up,
Looks
we
like,
used to
feels
have,
like pig skin.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
grew up with like a hair. My mom was like going through this thing with hairless chihuahuas. I used to have hairless.
Yeah.
I had a black one.
All right.
I put
Same.
lotion,
Yeah.
put
just their
lotion
skin,
on
their
him
hair. It's
because he would
weird.
get ashy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the funniest thing, touching him. It's
I
like-
know. Well, it's just like touching
It's like
a baby.
touching a hippopotamus.
Touching a baby.
That's what I thought it was
Puppy
like.
Chulo actually doesn't have any hair on his chest, so it's like holding a little baby.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. So when y'all put the other dog down, they just did it with the injection thing?
Uh-huh.
That's the craziest
And then
thing,
her eyes
man.
get all like cloudy,
Yeah,
bluish.
that was the craziest thing.
It's
I couldn't not do it though because I was like, this is probably not the kind of thing I'm gonna try to do a lot.
Right.
Or I'm not like a serial dog owner, but I've had them throughout my life.
Right.
But yeah, no, I thought it was like, I was just thought, this is trippy, man. You're like here and this thing is living. It's like totally like
Yeah.
conscious and everything. And then doctor, the vet's there and everything's all, ready to do their thing and they do it and it just sort of chills and stops breathing.
Yeah.
That's a strange thing.
It is very
to
strange.
be, yeah, if you if anyone ever has to do this that listens to this now or later, like it's not as, I would say it's very emotional, but not as bad as I would have thought, I guess.
It's kind
I'm
of
sure everyone's different,
yeah.
but it was just like I'm saying that in the sense that it wasn't like I didn't really go in thinking anything. I just knew that it was going to happen, right? Once we hung out, had a nice day for the dog, all that stuff. But then it was like there was no moment, I guess,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right.
It was just it's very slow.
Right.
A couple minutes,
Right.
I guess, right? From
It's
the time
well,
they do it.
actually, well,
And
no,
then it's
I've
just
no.
kinda-
I feel like it's very fast. It's very
in that sense,
when they do
yeah,
it
from
it's-
life to non.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's
it's
very
like
fast.
a minute to 3. They tell you,
Right.
and so you're just kind of there, like holding the pet and being
Right.
with them,
Right.
and then they're gone. And it's
Right.
just kind of like, wow.
Or are they really gone
Yeah,
yet?
but it's weird. They're still warm.
Yeah.
You know, obviously
yeah.
not moving, but it's definitely trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went on that cross country road trip with his name's Karen and his mom's name's Sandy.
Okay.
We actually it's so it's so nuts. We were I believe we were outside of Arco, Idaho, and we had pulled into this like RV park, and him and his mom were outside doing stuff, and Kieran came in and was like, "Hey, I want to feed this dog." And there's this like really cute, scruffy looking dog, and he looks hungry. I'm gonna give him some food. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he went out and fed him, and then he came back and he said, "Yeah, you know, I put down a bowl of food." And he came over and he was all eating it. But when I went down to touch him, he took off. Kind of spooked him. So he's like, so I dumped out all the food on the ground, and he's like, I feel like he'll come back, and I'm like, cool. So I'm just kind of like hanging out in the RV at that time, and then Kieran's mom actually kind of put us up in this like we were at a KOA RV park, so they have like these little cabins.
Mhm.
So me and Kieran could rage it. We got put up in this like little cabin, which was like right by the road. So we're like putting our sleeping bags and stuff in the cabin, and then we hear this like screeching of a truck, and then the dog, and then I was just like, ugh, we both ran out there, and it was the dog had just been hit by this truck, and it was like, oh, it was so sad. I said, was this the dog you were feeding? And he was like, yeah. And seriously, I was just like, the guy like kind of like dragged the dog off the side of the road, but he was still alive and kind of yelping, and I just was like, no effing way am I gonna walk away from this dog. I can't. So I sat down with him and like pet him, and I was like, just kind of was like, I just want you to know you're not alone, and I'm here with you, and you're about to go to this like really awesome place, and I know you're scared and in so much pain right now, but it's not gonna last that long. I just, I don't even know.
That's crazy.
It was pretty gnarly, and I just sat there, and like he took these like last like huge it was the moment.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all I could do was like stroke his head and like sit with him, and it was really cute too. Kieran, he's 13. This is the first time he's witnessing death, and was like, I'm really glad that you don't ever have to go hungry again. And he's like, oh no, I was glad that I was able to give you your last meal. And I was like, I started bawling. I started crying because I was like, dude, I would want, if this happened with Puppy Chulo and I wasn't around and he just somehow got out.
You want someone to do that.
I would want somebody as caring as I would to sit with my dog as he transitioned into the next life.
Well, I definitely, my indoors experience getting closer to those dogs, I would definitely say like, it's tough to take care of animals. Like it's a lot of work, but I think it's barring having human kids, it's definitely a compassion thing. Even pets, like to learn a lot about yourself and just these connections like you're talking about. I mean, it maybe sound a little weird to some people, like, oh, what do you mean, dude? Just be a normal human. But it's different than that, man, because dogs are like, they don't judge anybody.
And that's the thing. I don't feel like we might be normal humans.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, well, a lot of times, I don't know, a lot of times when people sit down and talk about like emotional connections and stuff, there's this concept that everything should be so fucking obvious. Like, dude, none of it's obvious to me. It's like, it's all like some kind of like difference in different people, right? And getting to know each other and all this stuff, right? It's not like you don't just have like a little checkbox on a human that's like, you check the emotional card and we're all in sync.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always different, I think, for people to get to know each other. But with dogs being so simple, it's just funny because they're like, in particular dogs, they're like, they will never, you could do anything to them and they're still like liking you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So you really like learn a lot about, it's like if there's a 0 to 100 with like human emotion scale, dogs are like 0 to 10. Right. And it's like all these pieces are missing out of there with like all this complexity. It's just basically like, yo, here I am. Pay attention. I think it's pretty interesting.
Right. Yeah.
It's the dog show. Turned into the dog show.
Bow wow.
People be like, what the fuck are you talking about dogs, dude? Go get yourself a dog, you non-emotional human.
Right.
If you're mean to people, go get yourself a dog and learn to not be mean to people. That's why.
I
That's
don't
partly
know,
why I
man.
said that. I don't know, man. People are crazy. People are crazy.
They are.
I don't understand. Not just after having dogs, but I'm constantly reminded a lot through social media, and I like many people get off it for a few days or back on. That's just my cycle. You know, it doesn't upset me, but it's like, damn, man, if you stay like plugged into a lot of that negative shit, it'll start to mess with you.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, I think a lot of people agree with that, but damn, it's like I can't believe how mean some people are to each other. You know? Just straight up. Dude.
Yeah, you know what? When I see stuff that like that going down, it's really well, it just makes me sad, and then it also makes me think what has happened in their lives to make them this way, because obviously something has happened.
I mean, arguing with someone is one thing, but just being mean to be an asshole.
Yes, out of
crazy.
spite, people going out of their way.
So much of it when people don't have to sit like this,
right?
They can just be complete assholes to each other.
Yeah,
you know? People
going out of their way, being spiteful. I mean, maybe as a child, you know, my brother would hit me, so I would like, you know, go and like cut holes in his pants or like, you know, pluck up his favorite cassette or something. You know, I don't know.
How many brothers? How many siblings do you have? I have
2 older brothers.
2 older?
I have 2
you got
older
fucked
brothers.
Big time when you were a kid.
Oh my god, yeah. Which is why I don't let, you know what I mean, like.
I've got an older sister. I got messed with all the time.
Do you?
Totally.
I didn't necessarily get messed with.
She used to beat me up every day, till I was like 12.
There was a time when I just remember like in the front yard, like fighting with the second oldest and like winning. And then as he got a little bit older, I never won again. But man, there was some fucked up shit that I went through.
What age was the tipping point?
I think maybe because he's 3 years older than I am, so it must have been around like I was probably I don't know, maybe 8, and then you know he was 11 because he was like super skinny, scrawny.
I had 3 years separate with my sister. She was taller than me. I was always like short, stocky kid, but she was taller than me, so she could kick me.
Yeah.
It was wicked, man.
Yeah.
She could just knock me out.
Yeah.
Like, and she would catch me coming and just like whap.
Yeah.
And I was done.
Yeah.
You know, a few of those, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I definitely grew up with a bunch of boys. I mean, my parents we would get out of school and my parents would go to work. So guess who? Everybody was over at our house. And I mean, my older brother is more punk rock. So we'd have like a bunch of punk rock kids, skater dudes.
Was that a pretty California kind of experience growing up to just kind of punk rock skater stuff?
For me it was like punk rock skater kids. And then my middle brother started getting into DJing, spinning trance at 18. So I was 15. Went to my first rave like 15. Yeah. And
did you ever skateboard?
You know what? I did. I did as like a really
I was terrible.
Like preteen. Yeah. I used to skate all the time. I could never fucking ollie. The only trick that I was able to do was like a 180 pop shove it.
I wanted to, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
That's just
once you get knocked in your shin, all your dreams are crushed.
It's done.
Yeah, you're just, and I ate it.
I have a longboard that my neighbor over here, the artist Autumn, gave me.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I use that on the boardwalk. That's great. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
just cruising up and down.
Yeah, I used to live in PB a long time ago. So
everybody used to live.
Yeah, in PB. Right. And I used to longboard all the time until I broke my my radius, my elbow.
The best boardwalk.
Yeah, no, it was really nice.
Here.
Yeah, but a long time ago when I was 24, I ate shit in front of Lahaina's. I mean, I was on a really good cruise.
What a terrible place to do it, too.
Oh, it was overflowing with people.
Yeah.
And I was on a really good cruise. I keep touching my face, and I forget
that
I have all this makeup on.
Stop it! You can only touch the left.
I don't care. I'll do it later. I'll redo it later. But anyways, I was on a really good cruise, and the board must have hit a rock or something because the board stopped, and I went flying and hit the concrete so hard. I gave myself a concussion. I didn't realize I broke my arm, and I tried to be like badass.
Cool.
I'm gonna skate it off, and like I skated probably like 5 feet, and I was like, nope, just got super dizzy, like hung out.
I'm so focused when I'm on the longboard.
I was focused too,
like
but I didn't see anything in my way. I must have hit.
I'm paranoid. I'm gonna even those fucking even just the ribs in the concrete. I'm like paranoid. One of them's gonna be too deep.
Yeah, I sat against the boardwalk, and then this bum, I sat right next to this bum, and he was like, asked me for some money, and I was like, no. And I was like, do you have any alcohol? And he was like, I don't drink. And I remember him being really dirty, and I was like, man, I fucking ate shit on my board. I hurt my arm. And he was started like, where's it hurt? And started like grabbing my arm and massaging my arm. And I remember his like super callousy hands like touching my arm. But I was just
Bum hands.
my bell rang so hard. I was seeing stars, and just like let him like
Your
rub
head
my
hit
arm.
the pavement.
Yeah. Yes. So then like I kind of like shook it off, and I was with a friend teaching her how to ride her longboard, and decided, let's go watch it. Like we were gonna go to the movie theater and watch a movie, and then I was carrying my board with the side that I hit. And then when we got into the car and I put my board in the car, I couldn't straighten out my arm. And I was like, you know what, on second thought, maybe I should go to the emergency room and not watch the movie. Because she was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, let's go to the movies first. And then when I couldn't straighten out my arm, I was like, I should probably go to the hospital.
I fell down once when I was running. My shoe caught the lip of the sidewalk.
No.
That is the most fucking weird feeling. I'm sure it was similar when you fell skating. It was like instant stop.
Yeah,
I'm just cruising along.
Yeah, and I was like so relaxed, like.
And I run a lot, so I'm like very comfortable with that. Yeah, so I was just out cruising, you know. I'm just cruising, you know. It's like never fallen down ever in my life running, and I don't know. It was the weirdest thing, man. I was like looking out into the trees, and next thing I know, wham! And I was just like, what the hell happened? I didn't break anything, but that's the first thing I thought of. Was like, holy shit, what's going on here, man?
Did you hit hard?
This like side of my jaw hit, and I managed to catch myself on my forearms, not my elbows, like points. For some reason I thought to like, I don't know, or it just happened that way when I put my arms down rather than hitting my palms direct or something, which is usually I think how things break. You know, like jarring them. I probably didn't get them out quick enough. You know, it was just a response, and then my forearms hit the ground, but it hurt like hell. Definitely skinned up my elbows. Yeah, and I was like 5 miles away from where I was at this family reunion thing in Milwaukee. So I don't know anybody. I'm in some neighborhood running through it and just busted my ass. I was like, that's the weirdest feeling ever. Sat down for a couple of minutes and then got back up and kept running. And nothing was messed up for me.
You're lucky.
Fortunately. Yeah, totally lucky. And I thought how lucky I was. I was like, damn, dude. You hit the ground that hard, that fast, you could just break whatever.
Yeah.
The head.
Yeah.
You know?
I had my.
You could knock yourself out. Someone could just. You got to wait till someone walks by.
That feeling of pain, I now got it down. Like I know when I have that feeling, I got to take myself to the ER. I got it again. So I don't know if you know this, kind of like do event organization sometimes amongst my crew. Throw some pretty rad fun parties.
Oh yeah, we were getting there. We just had a dog detour, a pirate ship. I don't know, euthanasia for puppies.
Right.
You know.
So I like to throw parties. I like to get the kids together and do different things. But so for this one, it was my friend's birthday party, and I was like, you know, we need to rent this big, huge water slide thing. So it was like 25 foot, one of those blow up things. There's like a waterfall and then like a pool at the bottom. So I thought it was really smart to go down Superman style.
Oh.
Worst idea of my life. One of them. One of them. But anyways, I went down and slammed. It felt like I hit a brick wall, and I separated my shoulder going down first. And like when I came out of the water, I was like, that pain of like when I ate shit on the skateboard. I was like, I gotta go to the doctor. I didn't till the next day. And I was in so much pain, but yeah, it like separated my shoulder.
I'm such a wuss. If I hurt myself, I'm immediately like, doctor. I just go like
See,
right
and
away.
I think that's my problem being raised with a bunch of boys. You know, I gotta walk it off.
Yeah.
Man.
What? Speaking of throwing parties, not that you throw Burning Man, but what's the name of your camp again? Gonzo?
Oh, so this year, I mean, the camp that I'm a part of usually is backcountry.
Yeah.
But we usually merge with another Burning Man camp called the Miscreants. So we were called Gonzo Village.
Yeah.
To get together, we called Gonzo Village.
And that's so after we had that chat when I swung by and we had that chat. I did two things. One, I went to see that no, the drone.
The drone show.
Yeah, it happened either when I was riding home right after that or maybe the next night. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Dude, I mean, I always saw it from afar. Whenever I saw it, I was working Los Bastardos bar.
Yeah.
So, but I felt like I had a pretty good view of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
I got pretty close on my bike.
I will tell you.
It was really amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you that I've been to 6 burns.
That was my 5th.
Okay, cool. But out of all 6 of them, that was like the neatest thing that I've probably seen out there.
The drone show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was so glad you told me to look for it.
Yeah.
Because I had heard someone mention it like, I don't know, 8 days earlier when they were out there building it.
Okay.
And I just forgot about it because I was building the plane.
So were you out there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Right under it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it was at night, so when they had LEDs on them, right? So they would turn them off.
Uh-huh. And it
just disappeared.
Yeah.
And then the shit would come back on. You're like, wow.
Yeah, that's really
I've never
cool.
seen anything
I was really sad
that sophisticated ever, much less just like Burning Man.
Very impressive. Very impressive. There's
all the fire shit's cool, but that was like another level.
There's videos on YouTube. I mean, that's the only way I got to see it up close was videos on YouTube.
Okay.
But really neat.
Well, definitely if someone listening now or later, whether you're a fan of Burning Man or not, definitely go check that out. It's just a marvel. That thing's cool.
Yeah.
The drone show. I don't know.
Any idea how many drones are a part of this?
I thought someone said 1,000. What someone told me.
So what I heard, I don't know.
I did go look at the because since I was there for teardown for a whole week later, their pen, if you want to call it, was out there. Where they all came out of.
Okay.
So I did go out there and look once everything was like done to see what was in there, and the gate was enough open I could kind of look in there, and it was basically. It was like 4x8 sheets of wood, like standard sheet size, but they had it almost looked like just little landing pads, evenly spaced on those, and there were 50 of them. So it was just a field of sheets of what looked like 4x8, almost honeycomb looking thing, and I think that's how they landed them, and maybe charged them and GPS'd them or whatever, and then they all just took off. And
I heard
that's what it looked like. Looked like a skate rink.
So could be a total rumor. I don't know. But I did hear that they started off with so many. And then as the week went on, they added more and more and more to make it bigger. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I never got to see it up close. And I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
But, dude, mind blowing.
It was a lot. Because it looked like a whole, like ice skating rink. It was kind of that shape. And then it was just completely full in one trailer, I guess, where they were operating stuff from. Or power generators or whatever was going on there. Yeah, that was pretty amazing, though. But I also remember you telling me about this trippy Hunter S. Thompson story. That was pretty funny.
Which one?
The statue.
Oh, okay. Like which one?
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, dude. So that was really neat.
Only the one you want to share.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So for the folks at home, I brought to the burn an 800-pound, 6.5-foot tall bronze statue of Hunter S. Thompson. Basically, the illustration of Fear and Loathing, where he's carrying his briefcase and all his fun stuff are falling out of the suitcase.
Yeah. While you're talking about it, I'm gonna look for a picture because I have a picture of it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
I'll look for one.
But anyways, so we have what's called a backcountry summit. We had one in Vegas. So bats were from all over. We got bats in Pittsburgh, Texas, East Coast bats, North Carolina, now in Georgia, Canadian bats. We're just all over. And we try to get together and we have these summits. And so we had one last February in Las Vegas. And from that summit, I posted on my Instagram a video of me sliding down the rail of the suite that we had. And in the background, there's a huge Gonzo fist flag. So after posting that video, this guy reached out to me and it was like, what is this and how do I become a part of it? And so I just asked him, well, who are you? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? So he said, I'm just an average guy, just regular guy, but I probably have the world's largest collection of Hunter S. Thompson memorabilia. And I said, oh, neato. And he said, I own several of his guns, including his favorite. I own the Fear and Loathing Abercrombie and Fitch jacket. And a bunch of just other random crazy stuff
that's
of
crazy.
Hunters. Yeah.
This is the guy. I'm going to get the picture and put it on the thing so people can see it, but that's him.
Yeah, that's the statue.
Yeah. While you're telling the story.
Yeah, so then he showed me his Instagram page. He's known as the Jackalope on Instagram. And anyways, we start building a rapport over the course of a few months. And
right.
I share with him a mock of our stage for Burning Man. I said, hey, do you ever go to Burning Man? And he said, no, but I have friends that go. And I said, well, check out our stage. And then, our stage was Red Shark, DJ sit behind the windshield, look like they're driving the red convertible from Fear and Loathing. And then we have
it's live up there now if anyone wants to see it.
And then we have the Gonzo fists that shoot out 30-foot flames, and then the 60-foot flame on top of that. So he's like, oh my God, this is, this looks amazing. How many are in your camp? So I tell him, and then, he just thinks it's really cool. And then the next day he messages me and he says, hey, I have a good friend of mine who says, if you want, you can take this with you to the burn. And he sends me a picture of the statue, and I'm like, with two kids climbing on top of it.
It was right there on the dance floor.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's where I wanted him.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's where he deserved to be.
Yeah, totally. I was like, I want him smack dab in the middle. I want people to be able to dance on him. I mean, you could climb on him. I in line as we're waiting to get through the gate. I climb on his shoulders. He's super durable.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I thought I saw it there, and we were in the RV at your dinette there talking, and I could see it, but I didn't realize it was bronze or whatever it is. It's heavy
bronze.
As hell.
It's bronze. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, it's heavy. So so he, he tells me, you can bring this with you to Burning Man. And so I was like, really? Okay, let me get in touch with this guy. So it turns out the first guy that I become friends with through Instagram introduces me to the other guys, who's Brian Chambers. They both own the original illustrations by Ralph Steadman for the book Fear and Loathing. So puts me in touch with Brian. I have a conversation with Brian over the phone. It turns out, we're the same age. He's been collecting since 1995. We both kind of had the same experience going to see the movie when it came out. And
The Fear and Loathing.
Yeah.
Awesome movie.
Yeah, awesome movie. So awesome. I had to go and see it again because I couldn't remember. I had no idea what happened during the movie.
I always had to rewatch all those that are that style. I can never remember any of them.
Right. So,
about every 5 years, they're good.
Right. Ended up being just a really rad, very sweet guy, allowing me to bring this beautiful piece of work out to the playa. So.
Did you manage that whole stage though this year?
Oh, no.
You didn't manage the whole stage.
No way, I would have shot myself.
Yeah. Have you ever before managed the whole camp? Or?
No. So
You're like, no, I'm smart enough to not do that.
Yeah. I mean, I've organized our camp at Utopia, and I think there was maybe 50 or 60 people. I can do stuff like that. But I mean, the key to event organization is delegating or asking for help. You don't fucking want to do all that shit yourself. You go crazy. And it's no longer fun. It's super shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But the problem with it in the Burning Man sphere or these kind of do-it-yourself spheres is once you get past from what I've seen, once you get past about 50 people,
Uh-huh.
so you start getting to 100,
Uh-huh.
150,
Uh-huh.
the problem is that there's got to be a few people that all they do is delegate.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look cool to the rest of the
Right.
people.
Right.
And
So
then it
no.
gets weird.
Yeah.
So I just like, I after 5 burns and then a couple regionals and stuff, like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure you can have like a really cool camp with more than about 50 people.
So
Because it starts to get managerial and weird.
right, but I mean that's so our camp this year. First of all, was super rad. It was basically Julie, one of our Pittsburgh bats from backcountry.
Yeah.
She was basically like the head honcho, but was super awesome. And I kind of like had the part of like the West Coast of like bringing up a bunch of stuff. So I brought up the flaming bar. I brought up the flaming tetherball.
Flaming bar, flaming
Yeah.
tetherball,
The
all the flaming things.
banana stand. We had like a 3-story scaffolding. So that was kind of like my part of the end. My part of bringing stuff up and contributing to camp. While we have our Pittsburgh bats who like did the front end and basically did the stage for camp, and then we had our Utah bats who were did the whole pyrotechnics of everything, and also the visuals that we had going. So I mean,
that worked pretty well. That was the camp this year, right?
Yeah, that was the camp this year, and it was great. So basically, delegating and giving people jobs or having people in charge of projects. And then asking if they need help and getting them help.
Yeah,
so,
like labor power.
Right. So there's
skills.
So basically, it's not just one person running it. It's one person like organizing and making sure everybody has the help that they need and stuff like that, and then submitting the application. But I mean, it takes a lot to run the camp, and it also takes a lot for the camp to be what I consider successful, where there's no fucking arguing, there's no fucking bumping of
injuries.
heads. No injury. Well, I got a little baby injury. We got some burns.
Oh, I got a picture of it.
Do you?
I'm coming. Isn't this the one you gave to me? No.
That's
not it?
No.
I'm still gonna show it.
Oh, great. That's so.
We'll just act like it is.
Yeah. No. That's I broke.
You had a bandage and a burn.
That's
when I saw you.
Right. That's one of the girls. So I watch 2 girls when I'm not bouncing around. I played like the real life Mary Poppins. Yeah. That's last night. I accidentally she broke her thumb. No, that's the 4-year-old that I.
Oh, that's not your fan.
That's not my hand.
It's hard. Well, the other hand looks small. I didn't realize they were together.
No,
looks a little out of.
That's a little 4-year-old hand, and I accidentally broke her thumb last night.
Doing what?
Trying to push her and her sister out of the bathroom while I was trying to use the restroom, and I was like pushing like on the door. They just thought it was so funny.
Of course they did, because they're 4.
So they were pushing on the door, and I like tried to push them both out, and I was like pushing on the door as hard as I could, and then like when I opened it, did not look like a thumb. It looked like and I was just like, oh my gosh. It's just so heartbreaking. I love these 2 little girls that I work with, but anyways.
I totally thought it was your hand.
No.
All right.
This is. I got a scar, actually. This is the burn.
Jesus.
Wait, I wonder if can I show... Oh, that's not...
Wait, I got another one. I like this picture. Well, this was back before pirate ship days, right?
That is on the pirate ship.
That's bathing suit.
That's
Maria
on the
Poppins.
pirate ship.
All right, I'll wait for the other one. All right, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss one of those there. Yeah, awesome. Hold on, what's this one?
So the 2 little girls that I
this is last night as well.
Well, this is this morning. I dropped them off at school.
Oh, okay.
And I brought their pumpkins, but together.
Those are pretty wicked pumpkins. Did you have any input on the artistic part of that? I mean, those aren't your average. Like, what grade are they?
I put in a lot of. I mean, we put in a lot of work.
What grade are they?
They're 6 and 4
years old.
Yes.
And these are their 2 pumpkins that you sent them with.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think we better win.
Oh my God, dude.
No.
One of them looks like Nightmare Before Christmas pumpkin. Is that
Thank
what that's
you very
after?
much. Yeah, that's Jack Skellington.
Ah, yeah. Is the other one after?
The other
Jason
one is just
from
like
Friday the 13th. What the fucking?
The other one is like
that?
from a 90s rave that went bad.
Oh my god.
Like plur all over the pumpkin.
They took them today?
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's Halloween.
Today.
Yeah.
Right, because today's Halloween.
I was up last night.
So you don't know.
I was up last night, like finishing the Jack Skellington.
No feedback yet?
No, I don't know how he did. So they have like a class. I know. I'm like, and I'm really
the
competitive.
kids are gonna get expelled.
I'm like super
suspended.
Super competitive. Hey, no,
Oh
they
my
both
God,
they
dude.
both contributed. Dude, you
I
gotta
when I was that age, the only thing someone else, did for me was like help me build a bridge, and I won the bridge contest, but not near as like, artistic as a Dia de los Muertos pumpkin.
Right. I went into the preschool today, or I went into the school today, and I can tell you that several of the parents helped with their kids' pumpkins. Okay, there were some really good pumpkins in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to feel bad.
It's a battle nowadays. It's a battle for supremacy. They're all just
like
living
to
through their
win.
children. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. We can use it. It's the same
Yeah.
with dogs. That's what people do with their dogs. They have their dogs. They're
Yeah.
just chilling.
Dags.
They're out here on the boardwalk walking all the time.
Right.
Some of
But
them
it's
are
a secret
bedazzled.
competition. Right.
Yeah, they're bedazzled. It's like how like smooth and silky, you feeding your dog fish oil.
Right.
Make sure it's
yes.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
shiny
you can
coat.
tell the difference. You can definitely tell the difference with people that have, either the time to care for the dog, maybe also perhaps money in some cases to, do all the bullshit for the dogs,
Mhm.
because there's a minimum amount you can do for the dogs, and then there's like all the extra
maximum.
over the top shit you can
Right.
do. Taking them to the groomer all the time.
Right.
Some dogs don't ever, dogs don't need a bath.
They don't.
They don't.
Okay, fine.
No, they just like,
No.
they really don't.
Yeah.
It's a human thing because we are like, oh, you smell bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really need a bath.
No.
So we're all like up in there with the dog shampoo,
Mhm. Getting their nails did.
Yeah. I mean, some shampoo can help like for allergies and things. I know all about allergies with dogs now after
Right.
that one. The one
Right.
we had to put down
Yeah.
was madness.
Oh.
But anyway, those days are gone. But yeah, if you have a dog that has allergies, that's a tough road.
Like that.
Really bad allergies.
I can't imagine. It's probably like
Yeah.
worse than a kid with allergies.
The worst thing is that until you figure out like what the problem is, like what's causing the allergy, which is not just because they can't speak, so you can't be like, when you eat pumpkin, does that cause you to itch? Like you have to test all this stuff. And the worst part is like they're so miserable
Yeah.
until you figure out what it is. So they're just relying
And
on
they
you
can't
100%
Right, and they can't
to
even-
be
yeah.
like figure it out, and to do that, this blood test, all these things, all this crazy stuff. Yeah. What's happening tonight?
I'm gonna get ready to go to a dance classic at Lombard.
We forgot to give the dance classic big up shout out.
Oh,
when we started.
is that what you guys do?
Nah. Usually I talk about some events when I get started, but I even forgot to
You
give
just,
the music promo.
jumped in.
Yeah, I'm getting more that way,
That's okay.
just rolling in.
That's all right.
Dance classic
Yeah, dance
and
classic.
Nas.
Are you going tonight?
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
think
go?
I'm gonna go.
Oh hell yeah! You better.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
You
I
don't
got
wanna
I
go,
got
I'll go.
Tom. Alien Tom.
Mm-mm.
You know Alien Tom?
I don't know. So
You know Red
many-
Sonja?
I've heard of her,
I've
but
seen her name
I don't know if
around
I
or
met her.
something.
Yeah. In fact, I thought about her because, I was at a store and they had Red Sonja socks, and I should have bought them. I should have bought them because
Oh,
I was
you
like,
would love
one day I'm probably gonna meet her, and I could be like, I
Yeah.
got something for you.
Y'all would love each other.
Yeah, I should go back. To
They do that
Super Bowl.
techno night all Tuesdays all the time at Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she DJs, but they're like Native Alien is their like thing, their crew thing.
Mm-hmm.
They do that contact party once a year.
Oh, I
Out in
haven't
the
gone to
desert.
that. I hear about it
A
all the
couple
time.
times, good time.
I think they had it. Didn't they have it in Mexico?
They used to. I
Okay,
never
but
went
no.
then, and then they had to
Okay.
move it for
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
And it's out in Palm, like Desert Hot Springs,
Okay.
a little bit further than Palm Desert or
Okay.
whatever Palm Springs.
Yeah, I've
out
never
there.
gone, but I've always wanted to go, and I have a lot of friends that go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a super fun
I was
party.
Joe's roommate this year.
What? I'm
I was
sorry?
Joe's roommate this year.
You were Joe's roommate? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, cool.
We like saw each other twice.
Oh, really?
We were on so different schedules.
Aw.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious. We had the room just blacked out, and Joe and I we were just like tap tap tap. If anyone was in there, and we'd be in there with like our little eye covers.
Oh, really?
Sleeping with it blacked out.
Oh,
We'd be like,
yeah.
yeah, dude, everything cool. Later,
Yeah.
later, man. Later.
Yeah, he's only doing
For like
2
3 days.
30-minute sets tonight. One at 9:30, one at 10:30.
Oh, you got to get going.
I know. He's
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. You like your man is the man. So awesome.
So awesome.
He's
He
without a
is.
doubt. He is without. I don't know if you know this, but he is without a doubt one of my. I mention him a lot on here. He's without
Do
a
you?
doubt one of
Awesome.
my favorite DJs in San Diego.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
All of
to
it,
say.
just the hustle. First of all, great music selection, and I've learned probably the 10 times I've heard him play, I've learned more about house music, like house music
Really? Mhm.
varieties.
Mhm.
Yeah, from listening to him play.
Awesome.
I love it.
I have always
It's great.
enjoyed dancing to him. I
Rocks
feel
a
like
party. Man.
I thought, it's funny, the show that I met you at, I thought
Yeah.
that was the first time I met him, but I had met him before, after, I think, Staten Warriors, he told me, played. He just happened to be hanging out with a friend of mine who lived across the street from me at the time. But
Yeah.
anyways, I have always flocked to Joe's music at Organ Eclipse.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea he was even there.
Love it.
And a neighbor, I had just gotten off work, and I was like, hey, you want to go for a walk? I just got off. And he's like, yeah, you hear that music? Let's go. And then
Yeah.
I show up, and there's like a bazillion people at this stage. And he's like, let's get closer. And as we get closer, I'm like, I think I know that guy. And he was like, you know this guy? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I wait and get in front of him. And sure enough, it's Joe P. And then, like, I wait for eye contact, and then the confirmation of, oh, hey, yeah. So, and that happened to me at Desert Hearts this last year.
Yeah.
Just got done setting up, working like a 12-hour day. Let's go out. Let's go dance. You hear that music? Yeah, let's go over there. And then it's Joe P playing.
Yeah.
I've always loved dancing to him. I always go to the front, and I always
Well,
get down.
and he's got hustle like no other, man. Like he's working all the parties, and like even that, like the music is the side I know him from and come from 1st. But then you see, we all of us that DJ and produce, like, see a lot of people do a lot of different things in the quote unquote business or industry or whatever. Yeah, and the pack gets slim that hustles like Joe does. That's what I'm saying, for sure. The pack gets really slim.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about a lot of shit, but I mean, and I know Joe's probably doing even way more stuff than I even know about. I just know because I see what he does do. So the amount that I actually see that he does, following his social media stuff and occasionally catching him up there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Shout out to Joe P.
Heck yeah.
Love you, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Y'all are hanging.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Super
Yeah.
grateful. Super just amazing.
And after chilling out with you a few times and even more today, I could totally see that working. Awesome. It's
Really?
great,
You can see it
man.
working, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've
It's fantastic.
been hearing it.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
really.
It's awesome to be around people you love and share things with.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah.
also great when the outpour of love from all the friends from both his side, mine,
Yeah.
coming together.
It's great when
Yeah.
it works like
Yeah,
that,
it's amazing.
Because, you can force stuff all the time or just, or things can be good and just be casual. And that's
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's rocking. It's killer.
Yeah.
Super, super stoked and happy.
On a super positive note. We should just end right there.
Right?
We should end on
Yeah.
a super positive note.
Yeah. So
Do you have the only other thing, do you have another trip coming up?
no, I have
I just
nothing. I actually have nothing lined up other than going to help my mother move up in Bakersfield. I did have actually
No leaving for a year or
no
6 months
no,
or 3 months living in a van or some
No.
shit like that?
No, I wish
Right.
soon. Maybe
Yeah.
one day that would be nice.
You
I
have
would-
you have great adventures.
I know. I'm
I love
really,
it.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. My time's pretty flexible. I really love it. I enjoy it. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
I'm very grateful for it.
I'm grateful
It's
too.
awesome when I see you cruising around and see
Yeah.
people doing like at least what looks pretty flexible.
Mhm.
Pretty
Yeah.
much in charge of all your own shit.
Yeah. I mean, when
It's a
festival
beautiful
season,
place to be.
yeah, when festival season comes, I kind of run off and do that, and then I'm
Yeah.
always welcome back at the home in
Yeah.
Ramona to help with the girls
Yeah.
and the animals. And like I said, I have this like Mary Poppins life. That's why I shall stay until the wind changes, because I do go when it blows.
It makes life. I mean, would you agree? It makes life so much more so much stress free.
It does.
when you really
I
have
mean,
some control over things.
It does. I mean, don't get me wrong. There stress. Stress happens.
Sure.
Stress happens.
Yeah.
But I am super grateful for the
Shit.
life that I have. It's
Yeah.
just
I mean, stress can happen going to the DMV, but I mean, at least like,
right.
but like having some flexibility with your life and some
I have so
variation
much.
throughout the year
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it just, you don't know it till you get to do it.
Right.
And then you think about, like for me, I think about, oh man, if I had to go, I mean, I've worked regular jobs before.
Uh-huh.
So if I had to go do that,
Mm-hmm.
even if I'm having a shitty like
Mm-hmm.
period of time, I'll still think to myself, dude, you got to get up and go get something done. Because
Right.
what I don't want to do is end up going back to
Right.
to
Regular
not
9 to
having
5
at least, yeah, at least I have the freedom to sit at home and
Yes.
sulk all day if I want
yeah.
about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You know,
it's-
be a little baby about something all
It's pretty
day.
amazing how
Yeah.
when I quit my job, I was like, what am I going to do about money? Dude, I just like was open and stuff just started coming
Figure it
to me.
out.
And working for friends. Like I work for people that I care about,
Yeah.
which makes me want to do a good job.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna high five you.
Thank you so
I'm gonna-
much for having me on your show.
I'm gonna put this thing to the outro, and stay classy, yo.
Peace out.
Woo! It was awesome.
That's
It was
so
fun.
fun. Yeah.
You're a great
Aw.
person to talk to.
I am. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute. Just me all stoked on that little mad shout out.
I'll clip that out and send it to him.
Oh my god, he's gonna